This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook at audiblepodcast.com/TYT. Go. Remember they said, oh, look, as soon as we come in, $100 billion. We're going to cut spending by $100 billion a year. Over 10 years, that's going to be $1 trillion. And now when asked for specifics on television over and over, they never had any specifics, right? But they said, no. You let us get in charge, and then once we're in charge, well, of course, then we'll have the specifics. We're not going to tell you the specifics ahead of time. What are you, crazy? All right, okay, fine. And Representative McCarthy, Representative Cantor, Representative Boehner, Representative Pence, all said initially that there's no question that they're going to do $100 billion. Representative Paul Ryan all said, no question, we're going to take out $100 billion. Now the New York Times is reporting leadership in the House is saying that the $100 billion number was a hypothetical. No, but I'm not even kidding. I mean, it's a direct quote in the New York Times article. Aide saying, it's a hypothetical. They said, do you actually have the $100 billion in spending cuts? Oh, no, of course not. What were we up to, JR? 4 or 5 rules violated on the first day. Okay, they were messing with you, man. You think they were going to do any of that? They're not going to do that. When asked about this, Paul Ryan said, well, look, we'll cut. I mean, we're not going to cut $100 billion. We'll cut something. I mean, that $100 billion number we just made up, but I mean, we cut a couple of things. By the way, they did do, to be fair to them, they did do one cut. They limited the amount spent on congressional staff by 5%. That's $35 million. And they're getting started. It's a slow start, but and by the way, I'll take it. It's not bad, okay? But it ain't anywhere near $100 billion, okay? And it ain't anywhere near what they had promised. And they're not going to get anywhere near it. Representative Mike Pence, who had said that they were going to, was actually cornered on this. Martha McCollum actually asked him about this. She did a pretty good job. Let's go to clip number 10.
$100 billion in the Pledge to America during the election. Republicans said that they would pledge to this country that they would cut $100 billion in short order, which meant a one-year period. Are they going to stick to that promise?
Yeah, what we did in the Pledge to America was really talk about reducing spending back to 2008 levels,
right,
which if we were able to do with the whole fiscal year would reduce spending by $100 billion. I know the New York Times today is talking about with what remains of the fiscal year. We're not sure in this fiscal year. Look, people are number crunching, but I'm going to tell you, get ready to be impressed with what Republicans are about to do.
Let me ask you this. Is $100 billion over 12 months starting today a reasonable target?
Well, no, I think it's a good start. I mean, there a lot of Washington is trying to parse the words here and go, well, the fiscal year ends in October.
But I don't think Americans care about that. I think if you gave them a one-year period, that was the promise in the Pledge to America, that right, in the first year, which I think most people could accept as going forward from today,
right,
$100 billion in cuts. Are you willing to commit that Republicans will make that happen?
I am willing to, remember, I just have one vote on Capitol Hill. I'm willing to predict that they will exceed that number in cuts.
She had to ask 3 times. Well, you know what? We don't get into number crunching. Is that what we're going to do? Number crunching? I mean, we said a number, now you want us to hold to that number? All right, listen. Are you going to do it or are you not going to do it, okay? He says, well, I just have one vote. Just one vote. I mean, I'll try. I'll try like a Dickens. But I don't know if the other some of my bitches will go for it. These guys are jokers, man. They make jokes. That's awesome. Well, get ready to get impressed. Yeah, well, Representative Pence, I'm already impressed. I'm impressed by what a joker you are. Audible.com is the leading provider of audiobooks.
In fact, they have over 75,000 titles.
And you can listen on your iPod or your MP3 player. You can listen to it anywhere at any time. It's incredibly convenient.
And they have books in every single genre imaginable. You can get a free audiobook if you go to audiblepodcast.com/TYT.
Totally true.